We are inspired by everything. I'm happy I am an architect, no regrets. I love the profession and I am with you guys here.
So that, sir, was 28 years of just sheer brilliant work, I must say.
I do not want to glorify it, but I work 24/7. We pick up inspirations from global cues, design ideas.
Good evening, everybody. This is architect Sugandha, and I welcome you to the second episode of Architalks, a talk series where architects share their insights into the world of architecture and engage in meaningful conversations with students, thereby bridging the gap between practice and learning. These episodes are sponsored by Mandhyan. Today we have with us one of the most eminent architects of the state, Mr. Krishnendu Nandy. With over 28 years of experience in high-end hospitality, commercial, residential and corporate projects across India and abroad, welcome, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I am so honored to be invited here for the Architalks by IIA Odisha Chapter. While preparing for this talk, we went back all the way back to 25 years. Rather, I have been working from 28 years as a student. So all the way back to 25 years, scrolled through most of our projects. So we have curated a list of projects which we thought we should be sharing with you. It is not my work, it is the work of my entire team. First and foremost, should say I am an accidental architect. When I first appeared for JEE in 1993, I got into architecture, but I did not know what was architecture, so I skipped a year. I wanted to get into computer science. I was selected to represent the country in Southeastern Asian Regional Computer Conference, but somehow destiny had something else. So next year also I got into architecture by default. So I am an architect and I am happy I am an architect, no regrets. I love the profession and I am with you guys here, sharing my journey with you. So we have prepared not a brief, pretty exhaustive list of projects we have designed, we have built, some projects we have not built. Some are really close to our hearts. So, what drives us? Curiosity drives us. And I always say, this was my wallpaper for almost 12 years on my PC. Curiosity is the wick in the candle of burning. So, you have to be curious. You have to keep on experimenting, ask questions. Why not? Why this? Why not this? Then only we can come to a conclusion why. You get multiple ideas. So you have a lot of ideas, so you have a good idea. So that is how it is Ideas Architectural Consultants. This is a project I designed when I was with Mr. Rajan Saklani in 2001. I had just become an architect and this was for the golf club. Mr. Dulal Pani approached us for a design and Rajan sir said, to Karle design. In 2001, I was with Rajan sir working for 4 years. I was handling Mayfair Lagoon. So it's your baby, you do it whatever way you want to do it. So there are three golden words in golf. One is in birdie, eagle and albatross. There's 1 below par, 2 below par, 3 below par when you are scoring. So this pavilion was designed as an albatross spreading its wings on top of a hillock, depicting the topmost score in golf, the albatross. Sponsored by IMFA, and there was a small bar also which was sponsored by Falcon Marine then, which was supposed to be sponsored by Falcon Marine. So when we designed this, so we had a albatross on the hilltop and we had a pathway going down the hill which was the bar and we named it the Eagle's Nest. Falcon is a brand, it's a pedigree of an eagle, so it's an eagle's nest. This was constructed, foundation was built, everything was built. The then Chief Minister wanted to see the drawings and he said that don't you think a club should have an Odisha architecture heritage linked to it? When I was young, we used to think wild, we were creative. Slowly down, once I finish the presentation, I'll tell you what has happened in the last 25 years. We have lost our creativity. We have lost the zeal to experiment, gamble. That should not happen. This project is very close to our heart. Again, this is in the year 2005 when we were approached to design a house. This is a house and the plot is 12 feet wide. The plot is 12 feet wide and this is the shape of the plot. And the brief was a luxury house, parking for 5 luxury cars, 4 luxurious bedrooms, and a gallery to see Rath Yatra. This is in Grand Road, Puri. So we have parking for 5 luxury cars. We have a triple height auditorium, triple height atrium which gets in natural light. 1, 2, 3, 4 luxurious bedrooms with natural light. A gallery to see Rath Yatra, dining space, study space and everything. We won't name any clients here, so to respect their privacy. So this is what we call the divine gallery because you are going there to see Rath Yatra. This is when I was first taken to the site, sir, site. Site kind of rasta. Goli, rasta we know, goli. 12 foot choda. So this is, if you see the old picture, you see this building here. That building. So that building is still there. And that is the elevation, 12 feet height, 50 feet long. We have a this is the actual photograph when we did not do photo shoots then. It's a triple light atrium with natural light, preserved trees. The gallery to see Rath Yatra, 270 degrees of Rath Yatra, air conditioned with central air conditioning, gallery-like seating. And that's a mural on Rath Yatra on the triple light courtyard. The basic section showing everything there. It's 12 feet wide, luxurious house, and we spent about 2.5 CR then. This is again this was my first independent project as an architect. When the client came to us, it is a farmhouse near Pipli. When the client came to us, the black thing marked is the lake. He is fond of remote controlled aeroplanes and a vintage car collector. So there is a runway. There's a runway all through for his vintage RC planes, and there's a water body for his RC water planes. So that is why the water body is straight. So client came to us and said that I want to do a farmhouse here. I have dug up the lake. आपको इसका चारों ओर करना है. So when he came, the circle marked is the say that I have demarcated this area for the house. We said no, we won't do the house there. We said we won't do the house there. Rather, I would do the house here. So it's a more compact space. It's easy for me to secure. It gives you that scale of an house, not a scale of a farm. So ultimately, we built the house in the area marked. On one side is the boundary wall and one side is the lake. The concept here was living outdoors. We get off the car, walk 100 feet to the house, all in outdoors. This was my first conceptual sketch of that place, and this is the plan of what was built. Now, there is an entrance porch here, there is a living block here, there is a block of 2 bedrooms here, there is a block of 2 bedrooms here, there is a block of 2 bedrooms here, and there is a gardens and an infinity pool on the edge of the lake. So, only thing that has changed is the shape of the swimming pool. The rest everything is come up as designed. I mean, I have to give credit to the client that he let us design the way we wanted to. The swimming pool was only changed because he wanted his green space to socialize and party. So this is what I say, when I'm living outdoors, you get off the car, walk amongst the greens, come to a block which is your living room, then come to a block which is your bedroom, and the entire microclimate is such that you don't feel the heat. Then he again came back to us in 2020, and I want to keep 6 horses there. So we want to build a stud farm. He gave us a free hand. You designed the stud farm. Well, that is where the irony comes in again. So the area marked in pink is the place which was demarcated for the stud farm. This is what we designed. It was an earthworm architecture inspired by some international architects from Scandinavia and stuff. If I go in front, so you can see that the helipad flows up into the roof of the stable. There is a lounge on one side, 6 horses on one side, and the veterinary and the tack rooms, etc., on the other side. So you can actually walk up to the roof and take the sculptural steps down over a water body to reach a living space and the 6 stables. This is what you see from the other side, and from the farmhouse side you see nothing. It's just a green berm going up. So this is what you see from the other side. The irony is what was built. So when we designed this, COVID came in, the economy went down. and this was what was built. It still looks good. The entire environment is very nice. There are still 6 horses, but the planning changed. This is Mayfair, Goa. It was on the side of a river. It was completely, all the structures you see is FRP and steel. CRZ norms, I cannot build anything much there. Anything which is pre-91 stays, anything new you have to build is temporary. So this is the reception hall which is temporary. There is a walkway above the water. There are pieces of Odisha. Our Khandlight statue on 2 sides. This photograph, you see these white things here? Those are windows. Portuguese windows did not have glass. They had mother of pearl. So the light comes in through mother of pearl. So there's a real mother of pearl paneled window there too. But that is actually my fire pump room. So I'll quickly run through this. This is from the poolside deck. You see the river Sal and then you see the Arabian Sea. This is another project we did in 2011. Although we had Korean material here then, but there were not many people who could do thermoforming in Korean. So this was built in flexi-ply. This concept was entirely on infinite loops. Each and every line went up, came down onto the ceiling, came down to the other side to become a rack. So you can see there's infinite loops everywhere. I mean, this has since shut down. This is a house which we did in 2013 next to Governor House. We call it the Manor. This is on a half an acre of land. It's like it's designed in an English style where everything looks rearward. As in 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister's house of UK. सिर्फ मेन डोर दिखता है सामने रास्ते को, आगे पीछे कुछ. We were pretty bold in designing this. My floor to floor height in 2011 was 14 feet. Doors and windows were 9.5 feet. So lintel was 9.5 feet, roof was 14 feet. The total height of the building is 50 feet but 2 floors. Because of the slope, the 30-degree angles which goes up. This is how what we say is the rearward looking. There was a pool, that pool went off during construction. So the entire house looks to the garden in the rear. You can see the volume inside. Height is 50 feet inside. These were some residences we did along the way. We are very satisfied with the elevations, pure massing, no materials. We right now feel that there are too many materials in the market. Is a big bike hub which we did in Pattaya. This is again a very project very close to our heart. They say that you give a fish to someone, he eats for a day. You teach them fishing, they will be never hungry. This was done by an NGO which actively works against human trafficking. They rescue kids who have been kidnapped, trafficked, and then they teach them the life skills. So they build this restaurant to get them here, teach them cooking, waiting on tables, and other food F&B related activities. So we try to keep it. I mean, they are picked up from the streets. Some are beggars, some are pickpocketers, some have been rescued from prostitution. So we try to keep it very simple, have some rustic materials so they feel at home and they start learning new skills which they can use further on and get employment at a later date. So we call it the street kitchen. This was renamed again as a kitchen as a cause. This is Pahadi Hotel we did in Raulkela. When we came on board, it was Pahadi because it was a hill. So client ने आधा पहाड़ काट दिया था. So right now the front is one level, पीछे वाला ऊपर level में वो पूरा आधा पहाड़ काट के वो building बना दिए. We delve into interiors. We try to do some experimentation in interiors. So this was a project we did in an apartment, joining two flats together. The client wanted a complete Spanish interior, so we did a lot of research. Swati put in a lot of effort looking into Spanish designs, motifs, styles. So there was a lot of stenciling and artwork done. You see there's artwork done in the false ceiling. We got an artist who could do that. This is a residence which we did in Raulkela. We call it the linear house. A lot of lines in that house. Raulkela being a dry, humid climate, so it has a courtyard amongst itself. The entire house overlooks the courtyard inside. All 3 sides of the house overlooks the courtyard. You can see for security, the courtyard is completely covered by a CNC mesh grill. Large glass panes with no security because everything overlooks the courtyard, it is secure. Most people have seen this project. This is a house which we did in Barampur. It has no windows. I mean, I'm exaggerating. It has only 2 windows. So you see the photographs. These are actual photographs. So all entire area in the house is naturally lit. We have a glass panel door of 20 feet height, sliding door. In 2020, this took a real long time to build. We started this in 2013. So this is how we are getting in light from the courtyards and cutouts all throughout the house and ventilation all throughout the house. This is a cafeteria we did for ITES company. We call it the Jenga code, inspired by the Jenga blocks. So there are 6 containers. Can you play that video again? So these containers are arranged so they give you shade, different uses. The inside area is a center area, though they use it for functions, events and everything. There are 2 levels of sitting areas, open terraces, covered terraces, air conditioned space. There is a pop-up counter here, proper shop front. So it's a multi-use project. So this belongs to the company belongs to a very dear friend of mine. So we have the freedom of designing whatever we want, and we arm twist tumko ye banana hai. So this again, the cafeteria you saw is somewhere here. So there's the entire complex. The land is like that, and the northeast is cut. वास्तु प्रॉब्लम हो गया, नॉर्थ ईस्ट कट हो गया तो बोले इसको इतना निकाल देते हैं काट के. दैट काइंड ऑफ स्पेस इन इन्फो सिटी इज लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू, रियल एस्टेट वैल्यू. क्या करना है, मतलब छोड़ दो, हम लोग करते हैं कुछ. यू नीड अ स्पेस टू सोशलाइज, यू नीड अ स्पेस टू एंटरटेन योर क्लाइंट्स. यस, विल डू दैट. सो वी केम अप विथ ए gazebo there called the juniper in the extra space. The space is at the highest end is about 16 odd feet, and in the lowest end is, you can see, 0. It's a triangle. So we came up, the snake is the walkway, you go there. So you park your car and it's an IT complex. You do not know there is something inside. Until and unless you are invited, you cannot go in there. So we have a small video which shows you the pathway. It's a rainforest, complete rainforest experience. With a meandering path, a koi pond. And these videos were not professionally shot. आज सुबह कुछ भेजेगा, कोई साइट से भेज दो फोटो लेके, वीडियो लेके. So this is what it is inside. So there is a dining space which is also used for impromptu meetings for heads of companies. There is a small bar for evening social gatherings. There is a kitchenette, there are toilets. This is the most used space. This tower is theirs again. We are coming up, it is under construction. Hopefully this will be finished in next 1.5 years. 12 floors, 2 lakh square feet for the same company. This, everybody must have seen it. We have designed this pro bono. I mean, the police commissioner said we need to do something before the Hockey World Cup. शहर में कुछ छाप तो छोड़ के गए. We do a lot of work for Kargil all across the country. We do their inclusive facilities, their offices, their factory layouts. This is a project we are still doing in Dalhousie. This is the last project we completed. It's a small, very small house on 10,000 square feet of land in Forest Park. The house is only 2,000 square feet. It's a 1-bedroom studio unit. It has all facilities. So this was again a steel structure. Everything is temporary. Just built it up and is used for socializing. We do not show any projects which are under construction. You will not find our social media with 3Ds at all. Zilch, 0. So this is the first time we are showing something which we are working on. Otherwise we do not show it to anyone. हम लोग जब तक बनाते नहीं, हम लोग डालते नहीं. अगर वो बनेगा नहीं कभी तो डालते हैं. This is a hotel we are drawing in Gopalpur, Marina Waves. This is a commercial development we are doing between Cuttack and Bhubaneswar, which has a frontage of 500 feet. The house we are doing in Bargarh, multiple layer terraces, cascading terraces with a courtyard inside, is right next to Lisa's house. The house which we are doing in Raulkela, it's again in a courtyard concept. So there's a center one is a courtyard. There are no windows in the front. The entire house is inward looking. The courtyard is climate controlled, and Raulkela has a very hot and dry climate. So you do not need to use air conditioning much. This is a multi-use development we are doing in Paradip. We call it the Anchor Marina because the hotel floor is based on the anchor shape thing. This again we are doing another mixed use development, Harbour Wave by a Marine Drive somewhere. We are trying to delve into iconic in terms of structure. We designed something during COVID out of unused containers and railway coaches for primary healthcare centers. We call it the containment pod because all about quarantine and having facilities, fast deployal facilities to the villages. Each container had 4 rooms, a air conditioning space, air conditioner with HEPA filters and toilets and etc. 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 We designed these bus queue shelters. There is a competition with Time Zoo to design bus stops in Delhi. I love traveling. I want to shift out of architecture, get into photography. So this is the Milky Way, shot at Daringbadi. That's there. It is in the month of September, so there are a lot of clouds around. So the Saturn has a halo around it because of the clouds. This is shot in Shimlipal. This is again the Milky Way in Nubra, Ladakh. This is something I call it the dancing lady. This is the Northern Lights, shot at the Arctic Circle. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So that, sir, was 28 years of just sheer brilliant work, I must say. From modern minimalistic, European, vernacular, even the street kitchen that you showed us reminded me of Soup Kitchen. It was much better designed, of course. So now I would like to take you back to the first step. Where does an idea begin for you? Is it the client, the site? What is it? How do you start a project?
When we start a project, it is actually a mixture and culmination of a lot of brainstorming. The client's requirement, the site, what are the site's constraints. We are inspired a lot by Ram Koolhaas, who highlights the contradiction in a site. For example, you saw the Divine Gallery in Puri, where we had a 12 feet wide site and the requirement was for a luxury house. The site always throws up solutions on its own. The client's requirements come in, we brainstorm a lot, but each and every site has its own solution, which is the most ideal solution for it. So essentially it is the site and the context to the nature, then the culture which binds it all together.
So it's all of these, basically. So most of your projects have a strong sense of place. How do you decide when to stay rooted in local traditions and when to embrace global influences?
We are inspired by everything. As I said, to have a good idea is to have lots of ideas, which is a quote by Linus Pauling, who is a chemist and who was a Nobel laureate in chemistry. So we don't decide. It comes on its own. I always say design is an evolution. It starts evolving from one sketch to the other sketch, and what you design, what you build might be the same what we sketched out in the first place, might not be at all similar to what we did. Going along the way, we pick up inspirations from global cues, design ideas, technology. Tech plays a lot of role. Not only as in IT tech as in a lot of things. Tech as in sustainability, tech as in barrier-free access, tech as in best design practices, the global standards, best practices in design and tech. All of our projects are rooted directly to the site and the requirements, because as an architect, my job is not to design something which I think should be done. Our job, it has been a firm belief in ideas. Our job is to transform the client's ideas into reality. We refine it on the way, we guide the clients on their ideas, and finally transform them into reality.
It is influenced from.
I am not someone to design a house for you and say that you have to live this way.
Since we are speaking of global influences, who amongst the international fraternity of architects has been like a role model for you, who you've been inspired from over the years?
No, there are masters like F.L. Wright. He, of course, everybody is inspired by F.L. Wright. His projects are rooted to the nature and the site, very site specific. Then there is Alvar Aalto. Detailing is mind blowing, and I happened to visit the Sugar Cube in Helsinki, and when you see up front, close, you see the detailings of the windows, it is mind boggling. Beyond the masters, I am inspired a lot by the Scandinavian architects. I am inspired by Office of the Metropolitan Architect, Rem Koolhaas. He emphasizes on the contradictions and plays with the paradoxical nature of architecture. We are inspired by Bjarke Ingels, the showman. And his projects have a brutal utopian nature. Most of the people think that he is a showman. But when you get down to brass tacks, they are extremely very utopian in nature. There's another lady architect who inspires me a lot is Dorte Mandrup. Bjarke Ingels, it is big, and Dorte Mandrup architects. Rem Koolhaas has been the mentor for Bjarke Ingels, for Zaha Hadid, and lot many. Rem Koolhaas is known as the thinker. Bjarke Ingels is known as the showman.
So now, amongst all your projects, which one feels the closest to your heart? Where when you look at it, you feel like, okay, my whole life has led me to this moment, and just affirms your decision to, pursue architecture in the first place.
I mean, as I said in the first instance, I am an accidental architect. I became an architect by accident. But I love being an architect. My initial projects are still very close to my heart. I mean, the Divine Gallery in Puri is something which I will always cherish. Building a luxury house on 12 feet width, which goes down to 9 feet in some places, of course. And the farmhouse, the lake house in Pipli with the stud farm, translates into reality my philosophy of living outdoors, being close to nature. You can stay there, drive down to Bhubaneswar and work. It is close to nature, you don't have to step out for anywhere, you can socialize there. Of late, we have done the Juniper. Again, a space, constrained space of 16 feet by 0 feet. We have designed a social interaction hub. So these are some of the projects which I feel very close to.
It's very difficult for you to choose one because, like we say, they're all our babies. So,
Good or bad,
So, sir, with the advent of modern technology and artificial intelligence, where do you think architectural practice is headed now in the future?
Artificial intelligence is something everybody talks about, but I do not understand the hype around it at all. Because it's a tool. It is not going to replace human beings. It is going to make you more productive. We feel that it will take our jobs. Yes, it will take our jobs if we are not more intelligent than it. We have to be ahead of the AI. We have to use AI to make ourselves more productive. As far as architectural practice goes, I feel that going forward it should be more collaborative in nature. Right now, as architects and practices, we are doing anything that puts bread on the table. And I feel that a lot of youngsters who are creative, who want to pursue architecture, are required in each and every design form. So we need people like students, bright students, to coming into each of and every of practice to get new minds, unpolluted ideas, take risks, and we refine them forward and build it for them.
So now I would like to ask anybody from the student community if they have any questions for sir. These are all yours.
Good evening, sir. So myself, Intakhab Hassan from Pilomodi College of Architecture. So my question is, how do you interact with the peoples, like the clients, the user, to convince them to do the work the decided work that you have been planned?
How do I convince the clients? It's a very difficult thing to do. As I said earlier, I, as an architect, am not supposed to build something for you which I think is good for you. Each and every client has a specific set of requirements. They have a specific way of using the space, be it an office, be it a house. So my job is to understand your requirements properly and convert them into reality. In the process, we agree with the clients, we disagree with the clients. So there is a sentence which I always tell to my team is either you are convinced with what the client says or you convince the clients. But you cannot just say that this is what I want to do for you and this is what is good for you. If the client does not agree, you cannot build it. It's their project, it's their money. We as architects have interacted, we are extremely good in doing houses. And in 10 out of 10 houses what we design, 5 houses, we see the entire family fighting in front of us. So that is how the fight percolates down and filters down to the actual requirements. So we try to put ourselves into the shoes of the end user. What is actually required? What do they want? They might be wanting something, they might not be able to convey it to us. So we give them examples, instances, we give them what will happen if they don't do the way we say. Somewhere down the line we agree to what they are saying. Somewhere down the line they agree to what we are saying. Somewhere we don't agree, they don't agree, but still we go ahead doing something in the middle ground. But 100% every time, before the project ends, everything is revised and built the way we want after we have convinced the client. We cannot just say that you have to do it this way. Either you get convinced or you convince the end user that this is what is required.
Good evening, sir. I am Sana Sambhavi from Pilumodi College of Architecture. So my question is that in your design process or before you start designing, what is that one aspect or maybe a few that you do not want to compromise, be it whatever kind of a project?
We do not want to compromise on functionality. Utopia is something which we do not think exists, but the end user is using it. So functionality is something which we do not compromise at all. We can stretch the project. As I said, we are doing projects which are continuing after 12 years. Until and unless the project, all the functional requirements of a project is met, we do not end it and we do not compromise the functional requirement at all.
So we have some members of the fraternity here as well.
Hello sir, my name is Guru from Kids School of Architecture. Beautiful buildings that you have built. Apart from capturing them, what brings your interest in photography and how do you manage your time being an architect and all those busy schedule? How do you manage your time playing golf and on doing this photography going around the world?
I hope I have an answer to that. I don't have an answer to that because I am not able to manage my time. My wife is here. She will tell me that you are a very bad manager of time. I do not want to glorify it, but I work 24/7. Photography is something which fascinates me because you are able to capture life, freeze frames for the moment. You are able to create an art. As far as taking out time goes for it, at Ideas we have a very corporate culture. So I work on Sundays, I get comp of leaves, I apply for leaves and travel. One thing that drives me to work is traveling and photography. I need to take a break every 3 months. So I accumulate my weekend workings. Those are approved by the software. I apply for a leave, I travel.
Thank you so much for that inspiring talk, sir. And for taking out time from your busy schedule and sharing your insights, your projects, your photography with us today. I'm sure all of us will leave motivated to go back to being an architect and not just like a businessman or a businesswoman today. With that, I conclude today's session.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you IIA Odisha Chapter for inviting us, present our work and interacting with the young aspiring architects. I always get a great joy interacting with young people. We need to learn a lot from them. We need to learn from the unpolluted minds, and we need to inspire them to become good architects, good designers, good professionals. Thank you so much.
Very well said. Thank you.